Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. Very excited to have one of my internet buddies. We've been friends for years on the internet. We've only recently met. Tinx, welcome to Absolutely Not.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm genuinely thrilled to be here.
Here's the thing. We have not even gotten to go to lunch before because every time I'm in town, it is my team's like, how much press and PR bullshit can we pack in, 3 days? And all I said, I just want to go to Balthazar. I want to go have a steak frites. I want to go sit and have a glass of nice white wine at lunch. And you know who gets to do that? Finance bros. Yeah. But do we get to do that? No.
I want to have a lunch martini with you.
Yeah.
Finance bros, I feel like all they do is sit in their offices and drink whiskey and make, look at spreadsheets and wear ugly vests. And I'm just like, you guys live the life.
We have to take meetings.
We have to take meetings.
We have to go be on camera. I need 3.5 hours for glam because my eczema's flared up. It's just like, I'd like my time back. To me, time is currency, and I'd like it back.
I want to have a lunch martini with you really bad. We'll do it.
What is your drink order currently?
Vodka martini, no vermouth with a twist.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
It is just a cup of vodka.
It's just a cup of vodka.
Very cold, though.
Do you have a particular vodka that you...
I like Kettle and I like Chopin vodka.
Yeah, Chopin is my ride or die.
Chopin is really good. Really, really, really smooth.
I knew I liked
it's
you.
It's delicious. And, just a cup of really cold vodka with a little ice chips on top. That really does it for me. I'm a woman of simple tastes. I just want a cup of ethanol, basically, and I'll be happy to go.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I just need it in my veins. I was we were leaving for Beyonce last night, and I just had one drink, and I went to the hotel bar. And I just said, white wine. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's like, rating it off. Do you want a Sancerre, a Chablis, a Pinot Grigio? I said, as long as it doesn't taste like a fucking cupcake, I'm good to go, babe. And I don't know, whatever she gave me was terrible, and I still wolfed it down.
You still drank it, yeah.
I still drank it because I just needed it.
Yeah.
But we survived. I am also very inspired after seeing Beyonce, and I saw a Broadway show this week, and I'm like, I am so ready to sit down this summer and get creative.
I know.
And go tinker tanker on the ivories,
and just go for it. And it really, I love to be inspired, and Beyonce really inspired me. And honestly, Hailey Bieber selling her company for $1 billion.
Praise be.
And listen, I think we can learn a lot from them. Think about Beyonce when she said, "I'm going to do a country album." All the naysayers, all the people saying you can't do that, you're not, it's not a real country album, yada yada yada. She won Album of the Year. Last night was, I think, the best concert that I've ever seen.
I fully agree.
And she just fucking did it. And she was just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to do it anyway. Same with Hailey Bieber. People talk so much shit about her on the internet and are always, questioning her marriage, all this shit. What was she doing? Getting hotter, signing a $1 billion deal.
Had a beautiful baby.
And she had a beautiful baby. She's laughing at all these clowns on the internet. She's laughing at them, and good for her. And honestly, these ladies inspired me, and I need to get a little tougher, and I need to be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway, and get creative.
This is a very refreshing conversation because I commented, I feel the same way about Hailey. I don't understand the whole Selena Gomez, the folklore, and I know this will find the wrong side of the internet, but I've tried to keep up with the whole thing, all right?
Yeah.
But Vogue posted a video of her going through her, what's in her makeup bag, and she's like, I have this tincture that my dad sent me to the woods to find a witch, and it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me. And I commented good for you,
funny.
Hailey.
She's in on the joke.
Why not? I mean,
Why
this is
not?
insane. This is insane. The lore behind Hailey Bieber. Clearly, and God bless him, but clearly Bieber's having a little bit of a crash out right now. I'm concerned about him. And she's just like, you know what? I'm going to sell this makeup brand for $1 billion.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he's doing, ayahuasca at fucking Coachella. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to take care of the baby, and I'm going to put glazing milk all over my fucking body.
She's a boss.
She's a boss.
And she did it. 3 years and a $1 billion exit is absolutely.
Yeah, what could we come up with? That's the thing is, I only want to work for about 3 more years. So what?
No, it's perfect. So now
we could go in
timeline.
halvesies.
We can go in halvesies. We need to think of what we can sell.
We need a product.
I know, but I'm so inspired by her. That's so cool, and it was all just all that stuff, the phone case. When I was going through the internet this morning, I was like, honestly, she did kind of change the game. The phone case thing.
But then Justin commented on his Instagram that he came up with the phone case.
Just let her have her moment.
Let her have her fucking moment. You know what? I'm done with him. Okay, Biebs. I'm not a believer anymore. I'm really fucking done with you.
Let her have her moment. fine. She's having she's killing it. Just
let her live.
If you can't just comment something nice, don't comment at all. Just
don't comment at all. We're exhausted. We're over. Tinx and I are over here trying to be creative and support the Road Beauty Elf collab.
No, I know.
Oh my God, and have a martini.
I know. I'm gonna do. Have you ever done the Artist Way? Do you know what that is?
So I've heard about it, but I have not tapped in yet. Walk me through the Artist Way.
Okay, so it's this book, and it's all about like creativity as a practice, and it's really like I'm not gonna lie and say that I've read the whole thing, but I've read bits of it, and it basically makes you do these morning pages.
Okay.
Which at first sounds like homework, but then when you get into it, it genuinely did change my life because it made me start like free writing in the morning. And it honestly, sometimes you just will write like bullshit, or like a grocery list will come out and you're like, oh, okay, I need to go to Costco or whatever. But sometimes really good ideas come out and it really gets your brain thinking in the right way. And I've kind of fallen out of that practice in the last couple of months. So I think I'm going to redo the Artist Way this summer and really try to get creative again, because I think that when creativity is so connected to your job, you can feel like a lot of pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've had all my best ideas when I'm really bored. I've had all my best ideas when I have time to think and when I have like no pressure. And when people are constantly saying like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, like you need to output, it can really put a lot of pressure on your creative side. So that's
Girl,
how I'm
you are
planning to tap
speaking
into it.
to the right person.
Yeah.
I am your audience right now, because I think what folks don't realize, especially in this day and age, and like for me with comedy, I've got a 90-minute show that I do every week, and I'm on tour. I'm trying to change that every week. Like I'm trying to figure out what that hour is going to look like, because you're working towards a special. You have a podcast that you do every week. Then you're creating content socially online. Then you're taking meetings. Then you're doing auditions, all these different things. And it's like, I feel completely burnt out. And you're an incredible author. I need your advice, because I have been trying to write my memoir and my first book for 2 years, but I just get pulled in so many different directions.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm a comedy writer, so I sit down and I'm writing stand-up all the time, and I'm like, I don't know why. Is it easier to write somebody else's story than it is your own?
That's kind of why I wanted to write fiction, is because I was so sick of myself. I was like,
that's where I'm at.
I had a lot of different inspiration for the book, but I also wanted to do something that like wasn't about me. I was like, my first book was about me, and it wasn't a memoir, but it was kind of like a lot of the stories from my 20s. And my second book, I was like, I'm so sick of myself. Like I'm so sick of packaging myself in different formats and being like, oh, like whatever. So it was freeing in a way, because I was like, I can think about these other made up people instead of myself for a second.
But how do you strap yourself to the beast of a laptop? Like, what is your writing process like? Because I take the summers off, and my thing is like this summer I have a pilot that's due, and then I was like, this is going to be my time where I take my 4 weeks and I just do the book. So I sold a show, and then and so now we have to finish the pilot and submit it by summer. But I've done this like rigmarole a billion times.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm ready. My lit agents are up my ass. They're like, Heather, we've been waiting on this book forever. And I'm like, well, guys, you're not a touring comic. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, get out here and be on the road in Cincinnati.
Because I can't imagine doing it on the road. That would be like, you can only work on it at home. Like, that's crazy.
So with the Artist Way, you get up and you journal, you write. Like, what do you specifically do?
You write like whatever comes out of your head. And that's like
a brain dump.
Yeah, a brain dump of like 3 pages or whatever, and it's like called your morning pages. And like when I had read part of the Artist Way the first time, that's what I started to do, and that's honestly how I would come up with a lot of my characters, because I would do like I used to do on Instagram rich mom characters, like little ditties, just like little stories about women who I would imagine, and
they were always spot on, wildly accurate, and that's why they took off, because you knew the demographic.
Yeah, and they, like a lot of them were from just writing in the morning, because I would just think like, oh, well, what do I want to write about today? And I would like write about these imaginary characters. So that's kind of like how it all got started. But it just gets you flowing, because I feel like, like you said, there's just so much, and you have to just always be on. And it's kind of nice to just give your brain a chance to be like, what am I thinking about today? And if you write dumb shit, if you write like, oh, I'm feeling anxious today because like, my cat did this and da-da-da. Yeah. That's good. It helps you in one way or another. So shout out Artist Way. I think everyone should do it.
All right, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'll be on some painkillers this summer, so I'll do that.
Hell yeah.
The Artist Way, and just really let it flow.
And just let it flow.
But to write your actual books, what is that process?
I feel like for me, like I am a Virgo, and I really like to fill things out. Like, so what I do is like literally write all the chapters, and then you just fill them in. So it feels less scary, because if you're just looking at like the endless Word doc, you're like, oh, that's going to take forever.
Right.
But if you're like, oh, if I write half of this half today, you can break it down to as small bits as you want. And then also like done is better than perfect. Like that's what you can always
Truth.
fix it. You can get an editor. You can get someone to help you. You can do whatever. That just get it on the page,
right?
And you can figure the rest out later.
Once you brain dump it, then you can take a step back
100%,
and figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm like writing for comedy, my voice notes in the middle of the night. I wake up at 3 a.m. and the voice notes that I'm whispering to myself, and then the next day I try and like dissect whatever night terror I was having in my voice notes. I'm like, I don't know if that was a dream or if that was a good punchline, but I'm gonna figure it out. I mean, it is. Jeff finds like scribbled shit all over our house. He's like, it's like I'm living with Rain Man. I'm like, but I have to get it out because I'm so ADD. I have to write down where I put my car keys.
Can we talk about like how as you get older, like writing things down is the only way to survive?
It's the only way. I'm a list sociopath.
If I don't write it down, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like seriously, the notes in my house are. I also look insane because there's scribbled bits on napkins, and it's for something totally asinine. It's for like buy coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't like. Why can I not commit that to memory? I can commit all of Britney Spears' albums, lyrics.
Yeah.
Of course, they're locked in.
I can remember every detail from the Scary Island episode of The Real Housewives of New York.
I can
word for word.
Word for word.
But I cannot remember I cannot look at a Google calendar, see what I'm supposed to do for the day, and then also remember to take my pills. I just can't.
No. It's completely beyond me. I need to reallocate some of the space up here because as per now, it's a lot of worthless shit. It's a lot of lyrics. It's a lot of housewives stuff. And it's just not that much like critical shit that I need to get done.
I blame the vessel that brought us both our careers, which is social media. I think we are just inundated with new shit every 2 seconds. That is also why I have gotten dumber. I know TikTok has made me dumber. I know that the reason in China that they are only fed educational videos on TikTok is why they will reign supreme over the US. Now, if you ever took TikTok away from me, I would jump off the Cheetah Bridge. But I know that I've made myself dumber with the shit that I watch.
I know, and I can tell that I've made myself dumber because I'll go to dinner with my college friends and I'm like, oh, you guys are a lot smarter than me. Like, I cannot keep up with this conversation. Like, you guys are going, and I'm like, but did you see the drama? Like, have you heard this trend? And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, I've made an error in my life choices.
I went to dinner with my best friend since kindergarten. We talk every day on the phone, so she's always up to date with what's going on in my life. But she's been on social media for 6 years. The other night at dinner, I had just enough Chopin martinis. I was like, I mean, Annie, do you even know what a brat summer was? She's like, never heard of it. And I was like, you're living in the dark ages. But get your shit together.
Is she
and
really
she's
happy?
happier.
Yeah.
She's glowing. She looks thin. Skin's good. I was just like,
no, I know.
You're living a healthy, low cortisol lifestyle because you're not up at night doing the things that I'm doing on the interwebs.
I know. I'm trying to, in a non-smug way, I'm trying to put some limitations on it because I do think it's making me dumber and also not as happy. And like this sounds so stupid, but like at the beginning, I love going to see live music and concerts and festivals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I really made like very strict rules about when I can take out my phone and when I can't take out my phone.
I'm right there with you.
And it really like...
I took it out once at Beyonce last night.
Yeah, I took it out for like maybe 2 times in the 3-hour concert because I wanted to capture a picture. And then I put it back in my pocket and I was dancing with my friends. I was literally visualizing it. And I have such a clear memory of the Beyonce concert because I feel like something that really scared me that I realized is when I look at something through my phone, I don't make a memory of it. And I don't know if that's just because it's like tricks our brain, but it's like if I'm at a concert and I'm watching the whole thing through my phone recording, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Like I only remember taking the picture or taking the videos, and it really, really disturbs me. The same way, and then I can't like ever really remember what I watched on TikTok. Like I'll remember an odd TikTok here and there, but if you sit and you rot for like 3 hours and watch TikTok, you don't remember those 3 hours.
No, you don't.
And that freaks me the fuck out because I love life and I love enjoying, and I'm like, I'm really trying to cut it down. And also TikTok is kind of weird now. It's not as fun as it used to be.
You're more dialed into TikTok. I'm a little more voyeuristic. Like I'm watching from the outside, and I started posting TikTok, but I also have a team that like cuts together crowd work clips and all that shit.
Do you spend a lot of time watching it?
Oh, yes.
Do you think it's good anymore?
I will say some of the drama, it's just like, guys, we are reaching. We are reaching for some stories here.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean...
People are getting
People are getting weird. They are getting freaky. They are getting weird. I mean, I'm so torn and excited and thrilled and torn in a lot of different places about the Chrisleys getting released from prison because Savannah's been magging out. I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, what are we doing here? But I'm also waiting with bated breath to see Todd Chrisley prance out of prison.
No, what does he
like,
look
I'm
like?
in a tough spot.
I need to know. I need to know exactly what's going on in prison.
I need to know everything. Does he necessarily want to come out? You know, of course, prison's a tough place. I'm not making light of it.
Who will
but I
interview
mean, he
him
probably
first?
was running the yard.
Yeah.
You know?
I need to know who will interview him first.
I've seen bits on the interwebs that they're going to be shooting a reality show. But, you know, and my husband and I were laughing about it. I was like, God damn, Savannah Chrisley knew what she was doing, wearing those MAGA hats every 3 seconds. The pin photo on her, the top of her Instagram grid is her and Trump. Because she knew, she's like, oh, he'll pardon her. My criminal parents.
No, she slayed that one.
She slayed that one.
That was a strategy, and she went for it, and honestly,
it worked.
It worked for her. So
and she's standing outside of a Sam's Club in her hot pink MAGA hat, being like, "I got the call. I was going to buy mayonnaise in bulk, and I got the call from Daddy Trump that my mama and Daddy are getting out of prison." And I'm like, "Good for you. It worked."
I'm so glad that's what he's doing instead of like fixing our healthcare
system
or working on the the war group chats that keep getting leaked. You know, we have priorities in this country, and it is reality TV stars. So
I asked my husband, I said, what would you do to get me out of prison? He's like, I'll tell you right now. He's like, he's born and raised in New York. He's like, I would be willing to wear a Red Sox hat and an Eagles jersey. I would do it if that meant getting you out of prison. I was like, that's the limit. Thank you, sweet. That's so sweet.
That's really romantic.
That's really sweet.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the love life these days? Because you've kind of become this queen and tastemaker and very transparent, and you don't have to give me details you don't want to, but very transparent about like the plight of dating in New York. And you recently made New York your full time, right?
Yeah, I moved here from LA, and it's better for me for right now. I love the energy of New York. I love the people. It's a very intense place to live. I'm quite an intense person, so I think it suits me well. And I like being on the East Coast as well. It's kind of more my vibe. I'm closer to family.
Well, LA is really, truly going through it right now. It's an odd energy. I lived in LA forever. I love LA, but there is just, they haven't figured it out yet. And God bless them, they've been through a lot.
They've been through a lot, and I know. And I feel like I was like maybe a little bit harsh on LA when I was planning to leave. I was like, so boring here, whatever. But the truth is, you're right. LA is going through a really hard time. The strike, the fires, and also I think like the entertainment industry is obviously what is like the heart of LA in a lot of ways. And the entertainment industry is in massive flux right now. Like, it's not like, you know, in the era of the movie stars. It's not like in the era of, you know, the beginning of reality TV and like all that stuff. Like, LA was the hub of
everything.
American, like, entertainment culture for decades, and now with social media, with everything, everyone's kind of looking around going, oh, like,
where the fuck are we supposed to be?
Are people going to the movies anymore? Are they watching TV? What's going on? So I think
they're solely listening to this podcast
and your
podcast.
Yes, they're only listening to 2 podcasts. That's it.
Obviously, we're changing America. Yeah.
And so I think that, you know, the city's really feeling that. And I have so much love for LA. Like, I'm, you know, like you, I lived there for a long time, and it is a beautiful and wonderful place with wonderful people. And it's just, I think it's just going through a bit of a, you know, everyone.
But it's an eerie feeling. You touch down and you're like, what is everyone doing? Are you guys good? I'm like, blink twice if we need a hug.
I know.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I know.
I'm with you too. Like, I need an East Coast energy. I just need a little bit more bluntness, a little more grit.
Yeah.
I need it to move just a touch quicker.
Just fast.
But I always loved LA because I love that everyone is on some sort of pharmaceutical, and they tell you. They're just like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna have 2 glasses of Vino Verde, but I took 2 muscle relaxers. So I just need you to know that that's where I'm coming in.
I know.
In New York, somebody could be speedballing on 4 bags of cocaine, and they don't ever tell you. And that's what I love. It's a little more, you gotta figure out, pick your poison here in New York.
For sure. And in LA, it's so nice because then you can ask for one. If you know, if someone's having a Xanax at 2 p.m., you know, at Soho House, let me get in on that. Like, I would love that so much.
And then next thing you know, you're in the Deep Valley singing like Gwyneth Paltrow's Shaman Witch Doctor and buying some Chinese herbs in Van Nuys, and you're like, I'm into it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's fun. LA is a fun place to like be silly and like relax and do that stuff. So, and then you come to New York and we're walking through Times Square. It's scary. You don't know who's on coke. Probably everybody.
Yeah.
But I like that.
I like that. Yeah. I like to play the guessing game. How many people in this room are on cocaine? How many in here?
Maybe one.
Maybe one.
Maybe one.
You're looking at her. Okay, so but the dating scene in New York.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you're mingling.
I'm mingling.
Yeah.
I go on a lot more dates here. I have
Okay.
a date tonight. Woo.
Yes, queen, you got it. Do it, girl.
I think that myself, along with a lot of other women out there, are just having a hard time finding anyone that we fancy these days.
Yeah.
And that's, our cross to bear. But I think that I found a lot of community in women who are like, look, I have found a way to be happy alone.
Yeah.
People are always like, why do people come to you for like advice if you're single? And I'm like, because I found a way to be really happy like alone.
Yeah.
I still want to be in love. Like I can't wait for that day. I'm so excited to fall in love. But until then, I'm not going to like cry every day and like waste my life. It's not.
You're like, why would I waste my precious moments and not have confidence in who I am and enjoy my life just because I haven't met the right person yet?
Right. It's like, it's also not grateful. Like, not to be corny, but like every day is a gift. And it's like, and also we can't take it personally because we're seeing this. That's a big theme on TikTok, which I do like to get in on, is like people are settling down later. It's harder to find people. There's a lot of chronic dissatisfaction with the apps, and it can be very exhausting and very tiring. And so I love talking about dating with the girls, and I am dating more here, and we'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen, you're being optimistic about it. And I have gals that call in on the hotline, which we'll get to in just 2 seconds. And I try and tell them, listen, I've been out of the game for a minute.
Yeah.
But I see and I live through my other single friends. And I'm like, I respect and empathize that it is fucking hard out there.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Really
and
brutal.
I'm grateful that I've got a good guy. But I always say, like, Jeff got hit by a bus tomorrow. I would also have to find joy in being alone too.
Yeah.
I'm a comic. Do you know what it's like to hang out with male comedians? It's horrific, okay?
Yeah.
It's literally horrific. And I do a solo sport, so I would never be out and about, like my fans are women, so I would probably end up with a nice power lesbian from, Atlantic City. And that would just be my future,
No,
it's fine.
It's hard. It is. It's just like, it's hard also when you travel a lot. Like I travel so much for work, and I am alone a lot of the time. And then when have free time, I'm like, I just want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to like go sit across from someone and be like, so where'd you grow up? Like, kill me. Like,
fucking kill me.
Literally kill me. Like there isn't
Do you have a good relationship with your mother?
Like, I'm like, and I have always thought that like when you click, you click, and you can't like all this bullshit of like, I'm not going to interview someone. I'm not doing like that kind of style of dating. So I'm just kind of like, you can't rush timing. I'm kind of just going to see how it goes. And
the only advice that I give to single gals, I say the easiest it should ever be is when you're dating.
Totally.
So if it's stressful and strenuous and you don't know where you stand while you're dating that person, then you don't need to marry them.
No,
like I knew him the moment I met my husband. I was like, this is easy. I get it. Like obviously there are bumps in the road or whatever, but I was just like, oh, this is it. It just made sense.
Yeah, yeah.
These girls were like, well, I don't know how he feels about me. If you don't know how he feels about you,
he doesn't like.
Then he doesn't like you.
Yeah, 100%.
And I hate that, but I feel very strongly about that.
I think when a guy likes you, and when it's easy. Like it should make your life better. It should make you feel happier. You should leave hanging out with them like sparkly and fun, and like they should be your safe space. And if they're not, then there's really no point. I do think that one really inspiring thing about right now is like a lot of women are realizing they don't have to settle, and they're like choosing the choice to like stay single longer because they know that they want a certain level of commitment, a certain level of guy. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's so inspiring. And so
I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
Hold out, ladies.
Hold out.
Hold out. Clench those pussies. All right. Are you cool to answer some voicemails?
Let's do it.
All right. So we have the Absolutely Not line. We've been doing this for 5 years. People call in and we give them unsolicited life advice. So we are not actually trying to solve their life. It's really more like kind of a light roast. But let's see what the girlies, the gays, and the 4 straight dudes are up to these days.
Love it. Hopefully you can hear.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather. My name's Mary. I'm hoping to see you in Cincinnati when you come in October.
Oh, yeah.
I have an absolutely not. It's not mine personally, but when I heard the story, I said, absolutely not. A friend of a friend was telling us that she got a text from her coworker, who is also her friend, asking like, hey, we booked a house for Memorial Day weekend. Do you want to come? Like, yeah, sure. I don't have any plans. Goes on the trip. We asked details. She said they didn't buy any groceries or anything. They would go out for every meal. She'd pay for her own meals and alcohol. and went on the trip. She was the only single girl. There were 3 other couples. They come back 3 days later. She gets a Venmo request from the coworker for $750. And she was like, I was under the impression that this was free. Because it was like, hey, we booked this. Do you want to come? Like, no money was mentioned. And she would have never gone if she knew it was $750. And we're just like, absolutely not.
Okay. Thank you, sister friend, for calling in. Absolutely not on that. Let me tell you what. As somebody who is coupled up, if I'm inviting a single friend, I usually do not expect them to reach into their pocket. The least that as heteronormative, obnoxious couples can do. If you have to watch us bicker at some point about, you put too much creamer in my coffee in the morning, the least I could do is say, hey, you're a guest in my home.
Right.
That's some bullshit. Everybody out there who is coupling up and getting your beach houses for the summer, do yourself a fucking favor and invite your single friends because they bring levity. They usually bring a couple cigarettes that are in the bottom of their purse, and they're going to give you a story to tell for the weekend because if they bring home a random guy, you got something to live for. So what the fuck? Everybody who's in a relationship, quit being so fucking selfish with your single friends. That's my take. How you feel, Tinx?
We are the entertainment.
In the
beach houses. Like you wheel us out, and it's like the clown is ready for the show.
The tap shoes are attached.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, you want to hear this one about like the date that I went on? Like I am literally like a court jester.
Yes,
like that. I am a court jester. I kind of feel like they might have invited her on the trip because like they wanted to offset some of the costs. Because it seems like a sketchy like last minute invite with no details. Like I feel like they were trying to almost trap her into paying for her share. And I think she should just be like, hey, like you didn't mention this up front.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit like put it back to them. Don't say I'm not going to pay. Just be like, I'm a little confused. Like, you never mentioned this. Like, I thought you were just inviting me as a guest. Put it back to them.
And then I would come up with a really big lie. I would say, hey.
Oh, yes.
Hey, if they respond and they say, sorry, there's a miscommunication, say, I usually would be able to reach into my pocket for $750 right now, but I don't know if you heard about the blood results that came back. And just fuck with them. And then maybe even send them a GoFundMe link. Be like, I really can't afford it right now. Come up with some disease. Something, ask ChatGPT for something that's not, terminal, but definitely can be cured quickly, hefty, but it's scary.
Yeah,
it's hefty.
A hefty hospital bill.
And then I would send them a GoFundMe link, and then I would double down and then receive money from that. So not only did you not have to pay for the trip, you now have $10,000 in your account, and you're
money.
Like, fuck everybody who's in a relationship. And then you buy yourself a Chanel, and that's how you live your best life.
Boom. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's very Carrie Bradshaw when her shoes get stolen at the baby shower.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
The classic, and then she puts a registry and it's just the shoes. So do that, but Heather's version with the, the fake hospital bill. That's awesome.
I just think if you, because at some point you probably will have some sort of pap smear that comes back a little wonky.
Of course.
So it's not lying. Like, who hasn't had like high cholesterol in their blood work? So I just think it's, it's not a bad idea. Really fuck them. And I love making people feel guilty.
I love it.
And gaslighting guilt in a way where I already know you fucked me, but now I'm going to gaslight you with guilt of something made up. It really tickles my fancy.
Gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep.
Yeah, there you go. The 3 Gs.
Love it.
Let's get to the next voicemail.
Heather. Oh. This is Maggie from Indiana. Quick vibe check that I need your advice on. Ooh. What are our feelings on the word fugly? It sounds like a slur, right? Like it sounds like a slur, but I think it's just a combination of fat and ugly, like ugly. But I need to know, before I start using it, before I start like going out in the wild, I need to know. Okay. So let me know. That would be great. Love you so much. Bye-bye.
Margaret, thank you so much for calling in from Indiana. And this is what I love about white women. We're doing what we can to fix the problems in society. And I love that we're starting with you being concerned about if fugly sounds like some sort of slur. I call myself fugly. I use the word fugly probably 35 times a day.
Yeah. Also,
I love fugly.
I thought it was fucking ugly. That it is, right?
And she said what? Fat ugly? Fat and ugly?
Yeah,
It's fucking ugly.
It's fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Fucking, I think fagly would be fat and ugly. And that sounds like a slur. Fagly does
Fagly
sound a
is
little.
a no-go.
Fagly sounds vaguely slurish. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, Ray calls me the F word every day of my life, and then calls me a fatty. But that's just our love language. Yeah, I think fugly is fantastic. There's a lot of words that I've wanted to start bringing back. Just words that really cut and and I don't mean words like, that were offensive, but words that were kind of strewn together. Like I miss when you would just call somebody like, God, you're being such a butthead. That used to just hit.
Or like a dork.
Oh, dork.
Dork hits.
Dork.
Yeah.
Hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I think fugly is way nicer than ugly. Like fugly is softer to me. I don't know why, but it feels softer than just calling someone ugly.
I also agree because you're like, oh, that's fugly. It can be like a tchotchke. It can be like stupid, silly.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, girl, stop being so fugly. Like those shoes are fugly.
Yeah, if you're
but
calling
saying
someone
those are
straight
ugly,
up ugly, you're like, that's deep. Yeah.
And as somebody who is in comedy who should have thick skin, if I were to read a comment online about myself and they just said, you looked ugly, I would be done. I would not carry on with my life.
But if someone said, you look fugly, I'd be like,
yeah,
I probably did.
That outfit was terrible. I had a camel toe. You were all right. I'm trying to think, are there any other terms that we need to bring back? But I love that she just genuinely, she's been sitting at her
stewing
cubicle.
on that.
Stewing.
Yeah.
She's been walking around Saks right now. She sat at her cubicle at her insurance job, and she's like, I just don't know I need to ask other women, and I don't feel like I can write this on the internet in a Facebook support group for other white women, or whether or not fugly is okay to say. I say go for it. I say lean in. And Margaret, we love that you're being conscious of what you're putting out there in the universe, and we really appreciate that.
And I care about that. Yeah, I think that's nice. I think that's thoughtful.
Very thoughtful.
We used to do like the for shizzle and then putting the izzle on it.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes in that one.
Oh, the izzles.
Because you're like,
yeah.
Was that inappropriate?
For shizzle? No, that just means that was from the rap. Who? Snoop. Yes. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just can't say the rest of the sentence.
Correct.
Yeah. But I think you say for shizzle. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep my location private just for
here we go.
HIPAA reasons. I'm a nurse. I'm a pediatric nurse, and I was working on Mother's Day, and this absolutely not was. I'm in this patient's room, and they've got some diseases. So we gotta wear the gown and the gloves and the mask and all that. And I'm in this woman, the patient's room, and this woman, the mom, she's using a hairdryer as a sound machine. There's probably a lot of fire hazards with that, but I wasn't fighting that battle that night. But the thing that I was going to, address was she's got that going. She's also got a sound machine going, and she's trying to talk to me. I can't understand what this woman's saying. Finally, I said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I can't hear what you're saying to me. And she says, oh, I just was asking if you were pregnant. And I was shook in my boots because I am, in fact, not pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I said, and she said, or maybe it's just the gown you're wearing. I said, we'll go with that. It's just the gown. But that's an absolutely not. I'm never going to ask anyone if they're pregnant. It's a sensitive subject, A, and B, you could have like a dermoid cyst for all I know. Those things get to be like 8 pounds. Anyways, love and light. Can't wait to fly out to Sacramento to see your show. You're the best. Bye.
Dermoid cysts, a condition that I feel like we really need to rally behind.
We do.
A dermoid cyst is, I have this weird thing on my back right now. I don't even want to talk about it publicly, but I will. I have a thing called oh my God, I'm so embarrassed because you're like so pretty and thin. I have a lipoma, which is basically like a tennis ball in my back that is just a collection of fat cells, and I didn't know what it was. And my masseuse was like, I don't know what this is on your back. So I went to my doctor and like, yeah, we're going to have to cut that out.
No.
Yeah, they're like
full cutting out?
Full cutting out. They're like, do you have a lot of heavy people in your family? I'm like, no, all the women in my family are skin and bones. But I was like, I take after my father. And I was like, yeah, he used to get a couple of these lumps. So I'm dealing with that right now currently. Do you have any weird flare-ups that you are willing to discuss?
Like so many. Oh my God. I'm like Omicron, I'm like always have something weird about me.
Right.
I'm blanking now, but
It's okay. It'll come up.
It'll come up.
It'll come up. Don't you worry. Stew on it for a couple minutes. It'll come up.
My cats are peeing all over the apartment.
Oh
if that
no!
helps.
And I was a cat mom. I've rescued 20 cats over my days, and once they start peeing, it's really you can't get rid of it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm really fucked up about it. That's an absolutely not for me. But we can talk about that another.
We can talk about that another day because you're still trying this. There are single men that listen to this, so we don't want them to be like, I'm not going to call Tinx because she's got cat piss.
It's only 2 cats, you know.
Yeah, only 2 cats in a New York City apartment. Okay, but this caller called in and she said that, here she was. She said working on Mother's Day.
Nurse.
She's a pediatric nurse, so she's dealing with other children, I take it.
Like, the most respected people on the planet should be nurses.
Yes.
How dare this nasty woman, this nasty troll, ask her if she is pregnant? That is, we don't ask that anymore.
We don't ask that.
I wait till someone says, even if someone is like bumping, I'm like, you tell me, because that's how we do it now. We've changed, and I think that's important, and that's how we do it.
It could be a dermoid cyst.
It could be a dermoid cyst.
It could be a giant lipoma over the pussy. We don't know.
You don't know. Just wait for people to bring it up. It's a very sensitive topic. And why the fuck would you ask your kid's nurse that?
Yeah.
Like, if it's even a question in your mind? God damn.
I would have, for me, my reaction, because I'm a cynical bitch, I would have said yes. And then I would have gone down a long rabbit hole of how, I was left penniless and broke, and I just got my degree to become a nurse, but my man left me for, I don't know, maybe the housekeeper, something. There would be some sort of backstory that would make this woman feel so bad and so desperate for me.
You're big into the guilt.
I'm big into the guilt, and it's really not my MO, but when it comes to people fucking with me, I will turn around and guilt you so fucking hard. I will let this woman think that, I don't know who the father is or something. I would really fuck with her. And then hopefully she would send me Chipotle gift cards for the said duration of her son and or daughter's stay in this pediatric ER, at this children's hospital.
Making it out because she was using a blow dryer as a sound machine was the start of her interaction with this woman.
Wait, also, did you guys ever see the My Strange Addiction where that woman was obsessed with the blow dryer and she had to fall asleep with it? And it was like, that stuck in my mind. See, another episode, like, why is that in my mind as clear as day? And I can't remember anything else, but like, there's a woman on My Strange Addiction and she had to be like, a blow dryer had to be blowing on her at all times. And it was like a miracle that nothing caught on fire because she would sleep with it on. Yeah. And they were like, you need to stop doing this. And she was like, I need the hot air. And it was just so weird. It wasn't even
that it was a fire hazard. They also, I remember that episode, they said that the way that the hot air was blowing on her, it would like eventually make her veins collapse.
Yes.
Because they have this whole thing right now that says you have to be careful about space heaters.
Yes.
If you work in a cubicle and you blow a space heater on you all day, it can collapse your varicose veins or something like that. My favorite, my strange addiction is this. See, this is the kind of shit that I watch. Okay?
Yeah, it's because it's amazing.
It's amazing. I was obsessed with the woman who loved eating her couch cushions. Oh, I get horny for that show. You're telling me she would sit and just pull the stuffing out of her couches.
It was really bad.
Did you see the update of the guy? This was on TikTok. The update of the guy who was in love with his Corvette. This guy had a red Corvette. It was his girlfriend. He loved her. His room was bedazzled wall to wall with photos of the Corvette. He would go outside, make love to the Corvette. He got in a fender bender with her. His girlfriend died. The Corvette.
He hurt his girlfriend.
He hurt his girlfriend. She's in a junkyard now. He had like a piece of like the front bumper and he keeps that. But they did a Where Is He Now? They updated everybody who was on that show and he lost his girlfriend and he said he hasn't dated since.
Damn. That's really tough for him because I remember how deeply in love. Like,
and he's currently on Tinder trying to find you.
Perfect. He doesn't care about my 2 cats. He's going to call me.
He will. Honestly, that kind of guy. And he's mourning still from the dead Corvette.
He's reeling.
Yeah. He's reeling. So this I'm just saying, he might be open to love. Wow. I don't say anything to pregnant women, but you know what I would? I'm so fucked up. Wait, hold on. Another show that I'm obsessed with? The 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Of course.
I love them.
Yeah.
I need a soda. And I love every time they go to that evil Greek gastric bypass doctor who just gives it to them real. Gives it to them.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's like, so what did you eat today? You know what I mean? She's like 17 pork chops. He's like, That's why you're fucking fat, you dumb bitch.
Oh my God. I've only watched that show in clips on TikTok.
Oh,
But I
it's the
do
best.
consume it.
My 1,000-pound life
TikTok.
really helps me get my life together.
Yeah, I'm like, oof, okay, I need
Yeah.
to like get it together. Like,
Well, I just want the small doctor to follow me around and just slap my hand and treat
Yeah.
me like one of the 1,000-pound sisters
course.
and just yell at me for every decision I've made.
but don't they both have boyfriends?
No, they're booed up. One of them's married.
Yeah. That's which,
Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just another fact that I always
Just another fact.
think
Tinx,
about.
I'm just saying.
Just-
Might have to go back to the Corvette guy.
Yeah.
There was a woman on, Tina, will you pull up My Strange Addictions? What were some of the topics? There was a lady who was addicted, obviously the Tide Pods trend started there. They had the lady who ate the couch cushions.
There
The
was
guy-
another crazy one.
Girl who liked to eat sand because of the crunch.
Oh, the crunch. Now that I think was connected to a thing called pica, is it? That can sometimes happen to pregnant women. You're like low in a certain mineral and they will eat rocks. Like pregnant women can, Google real quick. There's a thing called pica, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Pica. And pica, yeah. And you can lick, you'll have this desire to lick rocks to get a certain earthy taste.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That carries with little or no nutrient value like clay or dirt.
Clay or dirt?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yikes. The lady who liked to drink paint because it felt like a thicker version of milk on her throat.
Oh my God.
How is she? Is she alive?
I would go with no. These
Okay.
are the life update also.
So we have women who are addicted to drinking paint, crunching on sand, eating couch cushions, and we're over here just trying to do the artist way.
I'm just
you know?
trying to do
I
the
think we need to
artist
give
way.
ourselves a little bit more credit.
I'm just trying to be the single person in your beach house this summer.
Yes. With the GoFundMe.
With the GoFundMe, like just let me like regale you with stories of my terrible dating. Let me be your clown this summer.
Do we have any more voicemails?
We have one more, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do one more.
We know.
Hey, Heather. It's John from Pittsburgh. I absolutely love you. You said you needed a little more razzmatazz in your voicemail.
I do.
I hope you come to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
There is a show that was on Showtime called Fat Actress, and when Kirstie Alley whines, it reminds me of you, and it makes me laugh every time because she's fabulous. My absolutely not is when you are taken out for drinks on your birthday and you ask for another one, and the people that took you out said, go ahead because we're not paying for it. That sucks. What? It's supposed to be your birthday, and drinks are kind of supposed to be paid for. Thanks, Heather.
What is going
Wait,
on
they
with
take
all
you
of
out
these
for your birthday and then they didn't
cheap
even pay
people?
for it? That's crazy. That's batshit. But can I talk about Kirstie Alley for a second?
Let's
Because,
talk about Kirstie Alley. Rest in peace.
No, I was weirdly obsessed with her as a child.
Obsessed.
Because there was this movie called Look Who's Talking.
Of course, Look Who's Talking is one of the greatest movies of all time.
I agree.
Yes.
And she's she was so beautiful and such an amazing
Stunning.
actress, so funny. Also, It Takes Two, another just
Phenom.
smash hit. I was weirdly obsessed with Look Who's Talking, and their chemistry together was insane.
Wasn't it what Tom Selleck was in the movie?
No,
Or
it's John Travolta.
John Travolta, that's right.
And then there was Look Who's Talking Too, and you better believe I was biking my ass to Blockbuster every summer to rent that as well. I don't know why I was obsessed with it, but they just were very comforting feeling or something.
They were comforting, but you know what's the wild thing to think is you look back, they were both at their beginning stages of Scientology.
I know.
Isn't that nuts?
I know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why, you guys?
What did Kirstie Alley die of? Can we get a little just?
God,
You
I
know,
was
obituary
so
pull up?
sad. She was so talented.
She was talented, and honestly, the fact that you say that I remind you of her, I can't even talk today.
Be blown away when you know what she's talking
What?
What'd she die of?
colon cancer.
Colon cancer, not Kirstie Alley.
Guys, what is going on with everybody getting colon
No,
cancer?
everyone. No, honestly, real talk. If you're listening right now, go get your colon checked.
Everybody, I need to go do it.
And then now we're having to get these colon screenings before 40, or right at 40.
I know. And that is something that TikTok has really freaked me out about.
Yes, as much bullshit, no pun intended, as there is on TikTok, being reminded to get your colon cancer
That's
screening is
real.
Really legit. Thank you for that,
That's real.
TikTok. The one thing the
God.
Chinese government is trying to push through is we are worried about Americans'
They're
assholes.
they're really dumb, but we want them to get checked. Yeah.
You guys are so fucking stupid. You don't know how to read and write, but you're shitting yourselves, and we're really concerned about it. Everyone's shitting blood. You need to get checked. Please go get a screening. God, she's one of those who's gone too soon. And I love that you think that I remind you of her in Fat Actress. As somebody who identifies as a fat actress, I just really appreciate you for saying that. And that means a lot to me.
And get new friends.
Because
that's mean. If they invited you out, they should definitely buy your drinks.
My downfall is financial generosity, and I don't mean that in a way like, I know there seems to be a theme that I'm guilting people. I'm not. But I am just like, I like the more the merrier. The more friends we have, the more people.
I agree.
And then I get yelled at later by other people who are like, we can't afford that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But that will be my downfall. Because I'm just like, why are we holding on to money? What is money?
Yeah, you can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you.
No, I know. I'm like, come on, let's
you know
upgrade.
You know what's fugly? Being cheap. Being a cheap ass.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that, especially not on your birthday.
Not on your birthday. But I also, I'll pay for my own birthdays too, though, in a way I also don't like to impose on anybody. I'm like, I want the 10 martinis, so I'll just take the check.
If I organize my birthday celebration, I pay for everybody.
Yeah.
I would honestly feel uncomfortable like going because I want the Chopin, so this is the thing. But I think in this case, because they invited him specifically,
I agree.
Then that is an indication that they're gonna get you a couple drinks.
Also, I've been to Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. I'm sure these guys are a bunch of yinzers. Okay, good folk. How expensive is a martini in Pittsburgh? It's not that expensive.
It can't be more than $15.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. You could buy 2 martinis for your friend who's calling in and calling me a fat actress. Do it for me. Do it for me. My God. Here's the thing. I think the overall lesson that we have learned is we're getting dumber on the internet, but you need to get your colon checked.
Screen your butthole.
Everybody look up the artist way because we need to just journal and Google. Journal and Google. God, we are getting dumb. We need to journal and just put it out there.
Yeah.
And what else have you learned or feel reflective of yourself today?
And that, like, as per Beyonce and Hailey Bieber, fuck them. People will talk.
Fuck them.
Focus on your goal, get the check, and buy your friends martinis.
Buy your friends martinis. Get that road glazing milk. Stay hydrated, you dumb cunts, because you're all driving us nuts. You can call in on the next episode. Again, it's 800-213-7503. Tinx, plug your book.
It's called Hotter in the Hamptons. You can get it anywhere you buy books. And I'm at Tinx on everything.
And I know that this is not a memoir, but do you feel hotter in the Hamptons? Because I've never felt uglier.
I'm definitely
Fuglier.
I feel fugly today, but I will feel hotter when I get to the Hamptons.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And what is your Hamptons routine? Where do you go?
I rent a house for my friends.
See, generous.
Yeah, because I'm generous, and I wanted to rub that in. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. We just basically get drunk and hang out in the pool, and it's magical.
You know where I've never felt uglier? I guess fuglier is what we're not using. I've never felt uglier than at Surf Lodge.
Oh,
dressed down by the front desk gal.
It's hot people. It's a lot of hot people.
I wouldn't even say hot. I would say just youth. There's a lot of youth.
Youthful.
And
also.
I was on the list, and I just felt like they really gave me the runaround to get through the door.
That's part of it. But hey, listen, you got in.
I got in.
I saw on TikTok this weekend these 3 girls, and I really tipped my hat to them. I thought this was great. They said, "Hey, we're 3 pretty girls. We want to go to Surf Lodge. Who will take us?" And they gave an update, and they were young and they were really cute and whatever. And you know what? They fucking made it in. They said, "Guys, someone reached out. We got it." And I was like, "That's how to use your youth and beauty in a good way."
Yeah. Just to get into the Surf Lodge.
Exactly.
Don't try and change the world. Get into that party in the Hamptons
anyway.
at a very chilly outdoor bar and live your life. Tinx, thanks for being here. Everybody get Tinx's book. Follow you on TikTok, Instagram, all the things.
Love you.
And we're going to go have a martini. As always, you can call into the hotline. I'll see you on the next episode. Ciao, Bella. Arrivederci.